The last of the Persona 3 trio, the anti-shadow weapon, Aigis.
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We've been asked to go into action.
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
We'll brief you on the details in transit. Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
The lowest.
I'm in command?
Lowest numbers.
Are you sure about this? After all,
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
No point in fighting about it. Huh. May 1st, 2012, 9:30. I'm guessing 9:30 a.m. because I think in Japan they use military time. So like 9:30 would be 9:30 a.m. and 21:30 would be 9:30 p.m. Men equipped with assault suits and tactical vests line the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving poses give them the appearance of an orderly line of rocks. What? The new minutes have passed since the special assault team took up their positions on the landing strip, surrounding the stopped passenger plane. Their captain glares at the plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. Every last one wears ski masks and thick tactical visors to mask their identities, but he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of the team members steps forward. The touchscreen tablet in his right hand is a summary of the case on it. On May 1st, 2012, around 900 hours, a wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out a 7500 squawk code during passenger boarding. I don't know any of this. Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that their aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during passenger boarding, only half of the passengers, 168 exactly, had boarded. The 10 crew members brings a total of 178 hostages thought to be on board. Some passengers seated near the hatch had succeeded in escaping. The following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijackers. There are 3 hijackers. All of them are covering their faces with ski masks. All of them are armed with what seem to be pistols. From their voices and builds, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Currently, the aircraft in question has moved to the front of the landing strip at the hijackers' insistence and is stopped there. Authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers by radio, but they have made no demands. The team member finishes his report. The captain nods silently and addresses his team.
There hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before. Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
Blaze Blue. I knew I recognized that voice from somewhere. Pretty sure that sounds like Ragna. Same voice actor, maybe? The captain turns towards the plane again. Like, I knew the voice sounded familiar, I just couldn't pin it out. It wasn't even from Persona, it was from Blaze Blue. Taking that as a cue, the team scatters to their specified posts to take up positions. The only thing to do now is to see what happens. Eventually, 10 o'clock comes around. Half an hour has passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. The worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
The captain mutters to himself deep in thought. From the perspective of rescuing the hostages, every second that passes without learning the hijackers' objective is a second wasted. The captain and his team can wait in hiding, but the same is not true for the passengers on board. For trained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. The hostages will begin to lose hope, and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare as the time ticked by. After 15 more minutes had passed, a slight change in the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through stations near the airport are being checked, but at the moment, no message ought to have been sent from inside the plane. Here, the hijackers have confiscated all cellular phone, It appears that the hijackers had confiscated all cellular phones as per standard hijacking plans, but...
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passenger's cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are two possibilities. The hijackers are using a passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or passengers contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. And the more hostages there are involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely they are to take risks. Unfortunately, more hostages involved means all the more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worth less to them. Details of transmission make it apparent the situation is worse than the team had assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in first class. He signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness. It's a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. Scheduled messages automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. Service provider promptly contacted the police and informed them the man was in bad shape.
A man's life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on this fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passengers had boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. Though if nothing is done, the passenger will surely succumb within the hour. A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thing that guided the police officials to make their decision. The same day at 10:30.
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
No one understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but limbs whose power is best put to use by precisely following orders. Just then, another group approaches without a sound. Yep, there we go. Its members are dressed differently, in suits and trench coats. All of them are wearing black and sunglasses. At a glance, it is clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they are imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. But the captain senses they're in the same line of work and approaches.
Who are you?
His voice is laced with suspicion, but the man, the head of the group, speaks dispassionately, as if he'd heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. A group of men in black parts and one of their number in the rear steps forth. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. He can already sense the unrest spreading amongst his team, who watches in silence. The one stepping forward looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She's dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girl walks a few more steps forward and removes her sunglasses. Aigis! The captain had intended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gaps in the face of her crystalline blue. Wait, everyone talks in the first person. Who's talking for this team? It's clear Aigis isn't talking. Or isn't narrating. He regains himself and frowns.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes.
Are you shitting me?
There is no time to waste quarreling.
The girl looks at him fearlessly, despite the armed team surrounding her. The absurdity of it all is what helps the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She's clearly no ordinary girl.
Are you not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
Her calm, sweet voice only irritates him. Captain closed the distance to the girl, and while he stopped short of grabbing her suit, he glanced at his blue eyes from only inches away.
Lady, I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl's completely unruffled as she speaks. It's like she's a machine or something. The captain thinks, more dumbfounded than angry. You don't know. Apparently you don't know.
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
For the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch.
Right. But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
After the girl nods, she gives instructions to prepare a stair car to the group she's leading. Captain's fist tightens nervously. So if you use this for a stair car, quietly moving it in place may make the hijackers think that the strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. But there's no hesitation in the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Eventually, a roofless stair car advances slowly towards the passenger plane.
The closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough? What's the point of half-assing it like that? Captain's annoyance begins to turn to curiosity. If she's replacing the SAT, then she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but...
Now, let's begin.
The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat and walks. She walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns towards the passenger plane, and squats down.
What's she doing?
Captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she'll do. At first, he assumed she was going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy and send her team in from different directions. Like humans, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and underneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Was she planning to make her move while using the stair car as cover? Is she possibly going to snipe them? Captain discards the possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a lower angle of elevation where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly one moment, and in the next she is no longer in sight. Like my bottle cap. By the time the captain realizes she is running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. Sending her body launched like a cannonball from the top of the stairs.
What? She jumped?
Even the SAT member's voice was surprised. The girl's leap arcs a distance of over 10 meters, clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. Coming in the middle of a hijack, and the scene seems even more surreal. The girl lands on top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual had happened. The aircraft beneath her and slowly turns her head to scan it from back to front. Minus the captain of the movement of a security camera. He knows it should be impossible, but he wonders if she can see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her right hand to her back. Captain notices that a special knife coated gray from blade to hilt is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the side of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from it.
This is crazy.
She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and unlock the hatch with ease. With the thick airtight door juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. Captain is shocked by her dauntless methods. He begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own. Captain lowers the binoculars and faces the reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? The doubts he had dismissed rise within him again. A warning light goes out in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain sitting in the pilot's seat. Another is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur can understand what it means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it, but he quickly regains composure and turns the gun back to the captain. The man casts irritated glances back and forth between the captain and the door for a while. Eventually approaches the door. His gun points at the captain. Cautiously cracks open the door and looks towards the passenger seating. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section. But the passengers were gathered in economy class at the time of the hijack. First class is empty. The man squints. To ward off observation or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming out into the darkened place from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining, and that's unlike the regular ones. And within the light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouetted figure closes the distance and grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Two quick, heavy blows follow. The man collapses without a sound. Captain turns around and surprised to see the intruder, a blonde girl with an index finger to her lips signaling silence. She first lays the man on the ground and then removes a pistol from his hand. To inspection, only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts. Seam between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. Taking apart, disassembled pieces would look nothing like a real pistol. and then takes handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens the man's arms to her seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he will be unable to stand. When the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eye meet him and insists on silence as she leaves. Curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There's the man in each of the aisles on the left and right. Neither seems to have noticed her. Passengers and cabin crew are crammed to seats in the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what her seat sensors picked up from above the plane. But both remaining hijackers are closer to finish the first class. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. She judges that he could easily be disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but they are the same type as the downed hijacker. From what she can see, those two are mere model guns. Girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the closer man's right wrist. As they are caught off guard by the sudden appearance of such a slender girl, stops moving for a moment. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. With a pained cry, he drops the pistol to the ground. The girl uses her grip on his right hand to put him on the ground, and smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arms to the passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he is no better than a worm writhing on the ground. Last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. The girl pulls a button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it towards her opponent's face. The button travels at immense speed, though it was launched only from her fingers. The man tries to shield his face, but he is too late. He groans in pain when the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass. He usually jumps over the three-seat wide center block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. There, she repeats the same procedure she used before. Handcuffs to seat. The weapons are immediately seized while they are restrained on the floor. The passengers are only now grasping what's happening before their eyes. A murmuring chorus rises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
Passengers erupt into cheer. There's a sporadic applause as well, but there's a slightly hysterical tinge to it in reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger stand up from his seat. He's extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity, while the other passengers are nervous. It is then that she feels something hard pressed up against the back of her head. She knows without looking that it's a muzzle of a gun. And passenger cries of relief suddenly turn to screams.
I am impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed as she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed to her head. She knows there is no danger of being shot, but she is not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. With no choice, the girl accedes to his demands and moves forward. After about 10 steps, another man stands up as expected.
Ah, and you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from the front and back. At that moment, footsteps sound from beyond the curtain leading into first class. Two culprits both react at once, but it's too late. Over 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. When the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle, the stair car had closed in. First, they pinned down the man standing in front. Now, the passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment he lowers his hand, gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. So focused was he on the men who burst onto the scene that he forgot about the threat the girl posed. He's immediately tripped and restrained once he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. If there are any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand. But no one rises from their seat. She glances towards the men in black and they nod back in acknowledgement. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from peering on her face and gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterward, the sweeper team gives a report confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment. She stands on the stair car and turns on the blue designator light, waving it in circles towards the SAT's position. It is a signal that the crisis is over.
She's done already?
On receiving the sign, the SAT can, on standby, start talking amongst themselves.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Captain, who are those people? Is that one even human?
The captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor. but I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation. It's supposedly for cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police, too. Though it's all some private enterprise, so technically, there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
He turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. The response light comes from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. She feels slightly bad for them. Her team may have shamed them, though they had done nothing wrong. I should apologize to them later. But then, on the corner of the girl's eye, near the entrance of the luggage carts in the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
Labrys. Is it Labrys' figure or just some sort of ghost? The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape like a dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling. To begin with, given the heightened security, the parking entrance should be strictly sealed. The figure looks like a civilian.
May I check on something?
The girl calls the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
What is it?
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she looked away, the figure disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
The girl looked around, but the figure is nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in this open space with nowhere to hide?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
The girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? With this question in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. The light blue dress the figure wore was very similar to the one she herself had once. It reminds her of those days when she did not yet have a heart. But she was found by the main character, Junpei and Akihiko. The girl puts those thoughts aside and returns to the aircraft. Mission does not end with taking the culprits into custody. Truth, along with defusing the situation, ensuring the safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. The fact was not revealed to the SAT. The passenger was originally seated in first class, but would have been forced to move. The girl looks carefully through the restless passengers. It is not long before she finds the face she seeks. Looking relieved, the girl walks up to the passenger and questions.
Are you all right, Mitsuru-san?
Aigis. I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
Mitsuru's on the plane! The woman who answers has long, shining hair that would make an impression on anyone. Sitting quietly in her seat, her refined appearance makes her stand out. But Aigis knows the woman well.
In fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this. The suspects made no demands. What were they after, at first? I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing and panicked, especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public. Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it. They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing. And they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things. Though if I'm right, it's already too late.
In response, Aigis instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo has been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over. But I was carrying something... sensitive this time.
Labrys?
Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Kirijo facility's security, or attack the vehicle transporting it. But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiles. I can tell that she's impressed with their audacity despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments.
What?
This incident will surely go down in history.
Mitsuru's eyes bulge at the unexpected comment.
You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way. Besides, my underwear is in this bag, and that's it. Enough about underwear.
I was trying to bring up this question just before I even started her story, cause the other Persona 3 characters was just all about fashion. What's with the Kirijo group's obsession with fashion and their lack thereof? She forced the cough and steers the conversation back on track.
More accurately, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research. My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
The official name of Ergo Research is the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Aigis have many bitter memories associated with the name. A pall hangs in the air, and a radio transmission from one Aigis' team cuts the moment short.
Aigis speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru looks at Aigis questioningly and she nods.
It's as you suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her seat.
We must get it back, I guess. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Aigis inspects Mitsuru's face carefully.
Will you be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission. To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Mitsuru sighs with some exhaustion. Aigis
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1, the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
Mitsuru's always so pissed.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests that your vacation was neither relaxing nor cheerful.
But I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs. Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Understood.
Aigis answers loudly and snaps off the police salute that she's finally gotten the hang of. That's nice. Okay, now Aigis is talking. I am Aigis. My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. And my name implies I am not human. I am a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Though with the right clothes, surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. But they can't tell in your voice? I was created in a research lab owned by one of the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. I was made to exterminate a certain enemy. They are called shadows, monsters born from people's repressed emotions, granted dark life. Shadows can only be defeated by those with the special power of personas. Only persona is said to be the power. One's persona is said to be the power to wield the shadow within, and two sides of the same coin. Though one can have persona if they do not also have a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona and body close to that of a human, so that my mind could maintain a personality. A heart designed for battle. A body designed for battle. I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose, but I now have a place where I belong. Somewhere I can make full, beneficial use of my powers. The Security Department, Shadow Response Unit, or nickname is the Shadow Operative. Our nickname is the Shadow Operatives. Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's detective. The Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's directive. She is the scion of my creators, the Kirijo Group, as well as the one who has been given full responsibility for handling the shadows. Our objective is to identify and resolve incidents involving shadows. We do this by eliminating them. All of our members are persona users, or have similar qualifications to qualification. In operations, our guidelines say the member with the smallest number has command. What does that even mean, still? The number I was issued was number 5. Though I'm not human, I am treated as a member and not a piece of equipment. I'm guessing they're given numbers, so in case anything happens to one of the predecessors, they'll take charge. Moreover, my number is in the single digits. Who's in the double digits? And how far behind are Ken and Junpei? That's what I want to know. Actually, is Ken still part of the group? It's possible that there will be missions like today where I must take command of dangerous operations. In other words, I am recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Because Mitsuru-san and the others have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with results. There is another reason I am working my hardest on this case. Soon after the hijacking was resolved, the stolen cargo was identified. Its contents surprised me. The fifth generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. The unit named Labrys. She is one of my sister units. She was sealed over a decade ago and has been in storage with other artifacts ever since. Labrys, a humanoid weapon just like me. It's possible that she has a heart. If she does, I want to save her before she is misused. This is a mission, yes. But more than that, I feel that it is a duty I must carry out. And we're back here. The next day, May 2nd, 2012. Wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labrys as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it's difficult to set up a large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly, and we got a rough estimate of its destination. Headquarters were moved to a police facility. Mitsuru-san and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
The other team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
He hands the tablet to Mitsuru-san.
Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
Seems that the culprit in the case had prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that's true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, so they are enough of a threat to possibly destroy the world. And again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. Someone's trying to manipulate them, who must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. Aigis, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
Wait, Aigis is the younger sister? Hello? Wait, does that mean Labrys had already been built, but was never used? That's the only that makes sense. Because if Labrys is 5th generation when Aigis is 7th, I guess that means Labrys was already built, but was never brought up.
A sister. My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms, since her regulatory system was inadequate. So she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment. Unfortunately, the majority of the
Special
records
equipment.
pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Special equipment.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsuru-san swipes her finger across his tablet a few times and shows it to an aide.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
The aide nods to the scent and returns to his station. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on me.
And Aigis, frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Though Mitsuru-san doesn't say it out loud, I understand what she means. Our highest priority is in this operation to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger, not to rescue Labrys. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both, but in the worst case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labrys. Destroying a sister unit. It will be a painful experience if she, too, has a heart.
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Usan says nothing more and silently nods.
Well then, once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
That's all there is to it. May 3rd, 2012. To get ready to depart to Inaba, Matsusa and I go over last minute details in the police station. Matsusa is absorbed with issuing instructions of a cell phone she is holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait. I begin muttering to myself.
Will we be able to find Labrys? My sister?
Will we be able to save her?
I wasn't paying
Isn't that
attention.
what you really want to ask? Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labrys is not our priority. The reason I formed this shadow operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labrys, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. Hope that Labrys will become one as well. Eventually, the preparations are made in our limousine and departs on its journey to Inaba. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a Midtown street. Though it is called Midtown, it's very different from an urban environment. It's a quiet, rustic road. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. The transmitter that was attached to it when it left from the airport is, luckily for us, still active. The vehicle has been abandoned. The cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, you must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened last year. Those is already assumed, so we have a plan. Susan orders the driver to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. The vehicle is a long, black, 8-door limousine. It will stand out in this countryside town no matter where it's parked.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
Wherever we go, wherever we go, people peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and then finally park in what looks like a site for vehicle disposal in the outskirts of the town.
Our contact has arrived.
I then notice a middle-aged man in a gray suit standing outside the window. I recognize his face. He's one of 3 collaborators Matsuda-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open the window.
Oh my. This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Suddenly something not unlike exasperation and disappointment appears on his face.
You want to know how I did it?
Cough interrupts
We
us.
appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Matsuda-san gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago, when we were still fighting shadows in secret, Detective Kurosawa worked as a police officer at a nearby police box. He knew that our intentions were good and supplied us with certain conveniences under the table. His job made this risky, but he always acted on behalf of what he believed to be just. He said this many times while supporting us in secret. He's a strong man, one who will always act on his beliefs. Now our organization has official government sanction. He cannot cooperate with us without he being considered a descendant. In fact, now that Kurosawa-san's prior actions are justified, he's been promoted for his expertise. I have heard that he is now a plainclothes detective working at the Central Precinct.
Long time no see, miss. And Aigis, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
Kurosawa-san fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It is faintly awkward. We're both dressed for combat and I am not wearing any clothes to cover my true form.
Oh, sorry for staring. A humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
It's all right. It would have caused more of a headache if you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I cannot help but smile.
Seeing you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Tsuru-san asked Kurosawa-san to collect information on the serial murder case that occurred in this town last year. And back when investigations were carried out across Japan at the end of 2011, this region showed high readings of shadow activity. Although it was investigated, there was no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. And again, what if something happened that was just too hard to detect? Tsuru-san suspects that the serial murder case was related to those shadows and asked Kurosawa-san to have a local police force share the reports. We could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface information found in the investigation records. There are limits to what oh my god, I can't fucking talk! There are limits to what an unofficial unit cloaked by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I locked gates with Mitsuru-san.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Adachi. Kurosawa-san sighs. He seems to be tired.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days.
Quite sad.
It's funny, though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes. If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
He opens the door and exits the vehicle, gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
Can't deny that.
What should we do now?
Yes.
The TV.
First, we'll need to test the claim that Persona users can enter TVs.
This makes me realize something. Although I had called it a vehicle disposal site, looking around I can now see there are also household electronics, like refrigerators discarded here as well. In a corner is a stack of TVs.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle.
Wait, Aigis.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
I send my right hand and touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. Fingers brush the glass screen. Although I seem to be touching it, I feel no resistance from its surface. My hand forward a little more. Weak light runs across the screen and my forearm sinks into it.
Amazing!
Ring of light spread from the contact of my arm, rippling like water across a pond.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment.
My sensors detect a sensation I've never felt before, but the knowledge of what it is has already been recorded within me.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
I hear a voice come from an unexpected direction. Mitsuru-san and I look towards it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape, billows in the wind, looking just like a character in a western movie. What do you know, Aigis? He's standing on top of a mountain of trash, his arms crossed.
Is that Akihiko?
He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
I would never forget the man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he's a friend I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a student boxing champion in his school days and a staunch ally. Staunch? Powerful even without his persona. Though pretty crappy when I use him in fighting. He's also our second collaborator on this case.
It's been a while, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing?
Don't
Just what were
fashion.
you doing overseas?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Mitsuru-san's an annoyance. Yes, Akihiko-san was on a training expedition overseas until this morning. His appearance is very different from the last time I saw him. His aggressive personality and love of a challenging seem to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with his fist.
Anyway, we can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Well, actually, when we go complete the stories in full, will it actually tell us who was the one who was the one who manipulated the people into doing the hijacking? Akihiko-san steps forward. Akihiko-san steps towards Mitsuru-san, suppressing her.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Akihiko-san's opinion is a bit strong, but he's not incorrect. It could be Akihiko-san understands that being slightly forceful is his role. Because Mitsuru-san takes caution seriously, as the ultimate authority in this case, she frequently second-guesses herself. But I have seen Akihiko-san's words cut through her hesitation in the past. She shows his trust in Mitsuru-san not to make decisions in error.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Alright. I don't know what happens next.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Let's do it.
Ready!
Ready the cannon! There is no cannon. None of this is canon either. There we go. And Naoto.
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
Time to continue on. The voice keeps cracking. I'm surrounded by a white light that strains most of my sensors to their limits. A portion of my sensors indicate that I am currently in a state similar to freefall. I can't tell up and down, I can't tell up and down from left and right. This continues for a while. Eventually, my function slowly recovered. I find myself inside an unknown room sitting on the ground. I quickly stand and check my surroundings.
Is this the music room of a school?
I can see a music stand, grand piano, a blackboard, and portraits. There's an air of over-exaggerated theatrics to it, but I may not be far from the truth. Is this the world inside the TV? After the surreality of entering a TV screen, this comes as quite a surprise.
No sign of Mitsuru-san or Akihiko-san. Did they land elsewhere?
Unfortunate. That is
So
some
much
heavy
noise.
static.
I can't contact anyone like this.
Oh, that was coming from Aigis, I guess. I attempt to use my communicator, but there's no response. Looks like an ordinary classroom, but it has an alarming amount of radio interference. When I concentrate my senses again, I detect a bizarre disturbance from the entire area that is unlike normal buildings. This may be another world after all. In any case, I must join up with Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san. But just as I began to make plans to do so, the monitor hanging from the ceiling switches on. What appears on it is, how to describe it, a bizarre figure that looks like a living costume. Or rather, the general.
By an unknown yet bewitching babe. How unexpected!
Oh, here we go again! Apparently, if he says unexpected to a member of the Kirijo group, then it just goes crazy. A comical tone does not last long before the voice becomes distorted and the image disappears. It reminded me of a malfunctioning machine. I say at the monitor, I have a hunch that it will return soon. Yes. And it does. Just as I thought, the costume reappears. This behavior is very different now.
Case 04. Unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Its mechanical sounding voice is completely different from the joking tone it had before. And that phrase, elimination process. Seems that a battle will be starting. I release the safeties from the weapon built into my body. That's when a large noise comes from behind me.
Whoa!
Kanji! The young man in the school uniform comes rolling in with a yell.
Human?
No!
The Kanj.
Jeez, they decided to open right then. This makes no damn sense.
The Kanj. I thought that I was ready for any eventuality, but I had not expected to suddenly encounter a human.
Are you alright? You seem to be unharmed.
The young man looks back at me with a steely glaze while fixing his bleached hair with his fingers. Behavior does not seem to be that of one who came in pursuit of me.
What? Never seen you before.
I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Aigis.
Probably a lot better than Aigis, with Aigis than Mitsuru and Akihiko. Lean into I remember that my appearance would seem very peculiar to a casual observer.
I'm a transfer student. I have blue eyes, blonde hair.
They really can't tell them again.
Gatling cannon.
I have a She tries to fit in, then she lets that one slip.
I'm sorry, forget what I said. In the past, that prepared explanation for students has been effective, but no longer.
To say that you have a Gatling cannon? Wait, I'm trying to remember. When she first introduced herself, when she disguised herself as a student in Persona 3, she said something bizarre as well that got everyone's attention. I can't remember what it was. But this video is already going to go on for long, so I'm not even going to put in the reference. You guys can find it yourself.
Okay. Anyways, I'm Kanji Tatsumi. This mean you're my next opponent?
Opponent? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I'm talking about a scrap!
You mean a fight? But we have only met Tatsumi-san. Actually, where are we?
Enough blabbering, you machine!
With a yell, he slams the folding chair in his hand on the ground. Cold, dull, metallic sound echoes and eliminates any possibility for talking this over.
What's a fake girl like you doing calling me by my name?
The illusion. I go quiet. A fake girl. I understand how I might elicit such a reaction, but there is pain in my chest. But I cannot help but smile at how instinctively I reacted that way. It seems I have become more human-like than I knew.
I was worried I might have to go up against my senpai, but I ain't gonna hold back against a robot like you.
Thinking with a calm mind, I noticed a small incongruity in his attitude. When he first saw me, he seemed unsure and claimed that he had not seen me before. Yet, though he knows now that I am a machine, he doesn't seem particularly surprised. Are those two things contradictory? Or aren't those two things contradictory? Focus my senses once more and enhance the gain on my sensors. I detect a faint interference. Because it had appeared uniformly across all my senses, I hadn't been aware of it. What is this?
You're not gonna do anything. I'll make the first move. Take Mikazuchi!
A persona?
Light flickers intermittently. Could that be electricity? Thick barrel-like arm charged with voltage approaches from above. I jump back and narrowly escape a crushing blow.
Ah, nice dodge. Looks like you got at least a little bit of fight in you.
Persona user, I was careless. I should have expected that possibility since I encountered him inside the TV. I do not know the procedure for attacking a human, but if he's a Persona user, I must defend myself with the usual armaments.
There is no avoiding this fight. I cannot fall here.
Here we go.
Final.
Aigis.
Fight!
You ain't bad. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
A little better with Aigis.
Ready? That's nothing.
Nice to see if I can at least perform her thing.
Damage. I failed.
The hell?
Will it all be over I failed. Back. In stamina. Final sequence.
You ain't bad.
Damn it! But I would have gotten it at least.
You ain't bad.
Here.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
I failed. Less damage. Final sequence.
I figured I'd have given it a try. Let's just finish it.
The slim difference was a deciding factor.
I didn't expect to see great gameplay. I realized I'm not good with any of the Persona 3
Are
characters.
you alright, Tatsumi-san?
I helped Tatsumi-san off the ground and call to him. After repeating myself several times, I hear a groan.
No! Damn it. Ow! Oh, whoa! Hands off!
I'm sorry. If you can't stand, then I'll carry you.
Pick up Tatsumi-san, who's still lying down with both arms.
Whoa! Damn! You're a hell of a lot stronger than you look. Whoa, 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 whoa! How come you're carrying me like this? Like a bride or something?
This is the spousal method of carrying.
Wait, ain't it the bridal? Oh, wait a second. Are they pretty much the same thing?
Tatsumi-san, you seem completely fine.
That's what I've been saying! And stop with the Tatsumi-san crap. It's making my skin crawl. Just call me Kanji.
You don't object to being called that? I'm an artificial person, after all.
Huh? Who cares? If I say it's fine, then it's fine. And will you put me down already?
Even Kanji-san Down's requested, he turns his back and repeatedly scratches his head. The appearance of his demeanor has changed compared to how it was before the fight. His loud voice and rough words are the same, but the sense that he will not listen to a word I say is gone. I feel like I can make myself understood now.
Well then, Kanji-san, allow me to ask again. Where are we? And what did you mean by opponent?
Huh? You're not an enemy that Ted set up for me?
Ted. Are you referring to the bear who appeared on the monitor?
This is a fighting tournament. Only the winners get to keep going. I lost this time. But oh well. I wouldn't make it in the big leagues.
That sounds like something Akihiko-san would say.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just talking to myself.
Gotta say, you pack one hell of a punch. Got me real good.
Punch? But I didn't throw any punches.
Listen though, the rest of this tournament ain't gonna be so easy. My senpai are waiting up ahead.
There are more people here. Could you estimate how many?
Kanji-san smiles dolorously and gives me a thumbs up. I don't really understand why, but I give him a thumbs up as well. Good job. Then Kanji-san keels over. I rush in to catch him. I look into his face, he's still smirking, but has passed out. Seems he was fighting through his fatigue for the sake of his pride. He was fighting through the fatigue for the sake of his pride. Yeah. Just falls to the ground. Doesn't seem injured, so I carefully set him back down on the floor. Suddenly that costume, Kanji-san called it Ted, appears again on the monitor. It's Teddy.
Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
She's using that mechanical tone of voice again. The intruders must be me and the others. Since I won't be easy to eliminate, it appears that he's changing tactics. But what could he mean by valid targets? Monitor screen turns off once again. Just like before, it flickers back on after a few seconds. It's the same face as before, but a completely different attitude.
Woohoo! What a fox! Came to join in on our fun?
Mysterious Teddy.
I'm okay with that if you're up for a little fighting. I'll wait for you in the next arena up ahead.
This is more how he sounded at the beginning. It's gone back to normal, at least recovered from the abnormality.
Oh, silly me. If you're cutting in, you don't know who I am. I am General Teddy. Remember that name well.
It's the name of the bear that will rule this world. General Teddy. Apparently he really is a teddy bear. He doesn't seem like one, but a number of things he said caught my attention. Joining in our fun and arena. These are in line with the tournament Kanji-san mentioned. Is this tournament being held here? The monitor is silent once again and does not return. I do not think I will make any progress if I remain here. Poking my head through the doorway, Kanji-san appeared to check my surroundings. What looks like a school halfway leads straight ahead. There appears to be no danger nearby. I need to hoist Kanji-san's body over my shoulder and try to leave the room.
What?
Something gets stuck and prevents me from proceeding. Stop and check, but I cannot see any obstructions. Well, if the sliding doors fell off when Kanji-san came in and the way is completely open. It should be wide enough for me to pass through easily, even with a person over my shoulder. Yeah, I cannot proceed. Something's getting stuck. I saw my walking speed and checked to see what part of me is getting caught. This is how I discovered something surprising. Nothing is blocking the way, yet only Kanji-san's body cannot pass through the door. It seems there's an invisible wall, one that is selected and prevents only Kanji-san's passing between the room and the hallway. Something Kanji-san said comes back to me. Only the winner gets to keep going. Is this what that meant? Is this what he meant? I increase sensitivity of my various senses, but I cannot detect any wall here. I have no way of destroying what I cannot touch. Which means I have no choice but to leave Kanji-san here.
Oh well. I will come back for you later. Please stay safe until then.
I'll be asleep. Once he comes around, he's still a persona user. It's not as if I'm leaving someone behind who can't fend for himself. I reluctantly convince myself to move on. While moving down the hallway, my sensors continue to pick up disturbances from everything in the school. It all looks so normal, though. There is a line of glass windows on the wall. Outside, it's a field level with the ground I am walking on. I seem to be on the first floor of the building. Eventually, I reach a doorway and cautiously venture outside. There's barely any difference in temperature atmospheric composition compared to the real world. Lack of wind is unnatural, and there are other discrepancies between here and there. I turn around and inspect the building's exterior. This is indeed a school. I walk along the wall and go around the building. Soon, I reach what seems to be the main gate. I return towards the school building once again and come to a realization.
I recognize this place.
Do you? I've seen a photo from this angle in the preparation materials. As I recall, this is a high school in Inaba. To make sure, I step past the school gate and check the nameplate. The name engraved on the gate's pillar is Yasogami High School. I cross-reference the name with a map of the area and find a match. This is confusing. The real world location has been completely recreated inside the TV. Why is it structured like nesting boxes? Just then, I sense something move in the corner of my vision. Quickly turn to view it head on. It's a uniformed girl. She's running straight through the opposite direction on the field. Is she a student? No, this is not a real school. Could she be one of the senpai Kanji-san spoke of? But a moment's thought highlights an important detail. Her pale skin and her color.
That's...
There can be no mistake. It's the girl I saw for a moment at the airport after the hijacking. I immediately chase after her. But the girl is much faster than I anticipated and I cannot close the distance. I realize the portion of my foot speed limiters and finally get close. So I'm able to grasp her right arm from behind.
Huh?
The girl stops and turns around. There's surprise in her face as she stares in wide-eyed wonder at my form, though I am surprised myself. The instant I take her hand, a flash of intuition charges through me like electricity. This girl is Labrys. I am unaccountably convinced.
Who are you? That's one funny-looking costume you've got on.
Oh, well,
Oh, of course. You're mixed up in this racket too, aren't you?
Racket? What is
no,
this?
I am not in this tournament of my own free will.
Really? Then you mind letting me go? I'm the student council president. I can't be letting people run wild at this school.
Student council president?
Didn't I tell you to let me go? Are you trying to get in the way of my work here?
Girl looks at me with an irritated expression. How strange. She speaks as if she really is leading an ordinary life here at school. If she was aware that she was at the TV, would she say such things to me?
If you happen to know, could you please tell me what sort of place this is?
Huh? It's the first floor of the classroom building. Can't you tell?
Huh? Is it possible that you don't recall entering a TV?
A TV? Listen, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of in a hurry here. Can I go now?
Before you do, please tell me something. Who are you?
Who? What'd you stop me for if you didn't even know? I just told you. I'm the student council president. What hole have you been hiding in? The elections were just last week. Are we done now? Because I got places to be.
The girl ends the conversation sternly, shakes off my hand, and runs away again. In an instant, she has disappeared into the school building.
Please, wait!
I go after her, but just as I enter the hallway and round the first bend, something blocks my path. But I can't see what it is at all. Can't see it, yet when I reach out my hand, I can feel it. I think I know what this is.
That wall again!
The invisible wall that prevented Kanji-san's passage, it's most likely the same thing. Once again, I am surprised. I can touch it, yet my senses detect nothing. And it's much stronger than I had imagined. It repels even gunfire. Physical strikes are nothing. I've done various methods to destroy it, but before I can, the girl disappears from view.
It seems I am forced to try a different route.
Consider the situation once more. Was that girl truly Labrys? There are too many factors now indicating otherwise. In appearance and the feel for her arm when I grasped it a moment ago, both are strong signs that she is human. If she's entirely artificial, then she could not be part of an older generation of models than myself. Speaking of voice and behavior, both also indicative of known human patterns. Once her records of Labrys' development, she was sealed away soon after. Even I stumble with natural human speech. She could not have become that proficient in so short of a time. She's not a machine, but a human, so she cannot be Labrys. Usually, I would not hesitate to make such a judgment based on the available data. Yet, I still cannot shake the feeling that she may be Labrys. The intuition I felt earlier, what caused it? The case remains murky. I feel as if my senses are being muffled by a thin cloth. But I cannot leave her be. Even if she is not Labrys, the fact itself means she's in danger. Quickly look for an alternate route. I see. I backtracked the way I came and ran outside. Suddenly I am enveloped in a tidal wave of sound. These are human voices. Cheering comes from an enormous crowd. I turn around and a thick mass of people run towards me out of nowhere. They are boys and girls in school uniforms. It's clear that everybody is looking at me.
This is impossible.
How did I fail to detect so many humans? But then I notice it. There's white noise running through all my sensors. The same feeling that I had before fighting Kanji-san. What is this? As I stand and thought, the student closes in on me. I ask what business they have with me, but the uproar drowns out my voice. I cannot attack them, so I have no choice but to edge backwards. Soon my back is against the wall. Look around for an escape route. Luckily, there was a door beside me. I hurry inside to find shelter. The gym. The room I have entered appears to be spacious. It is dark here, but I believe it is the gymnasium. Here and there, folding chairs and gym equipment are piled in heaps. Looks like the result of some strange ritual. Suddenly, a light shines in the corner. Upon closer inspection, I can see a monitor showing something. It's airing some familiar faces. Oh, it's actually going to show it this time?
Rivals.
Why didn't it show it for Mitsuru and Akihiko?
Friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start.
May the manliest of all men come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of steel, Yu Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura!
Everything that bores me has gotta go!
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat!
Please escort me to the ring, my prince! The unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muscles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi!
Deep into realms of romance.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P-1 Grand Prix, where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
There we go. Not sure what to say about that video. It seems to be modeled off the promotional videos for martial art tournaments. Notice appearances by Kanshan and the host, General Teddy. The people shown must also be participants. Safe to assume that they are all Persona users. As of watching my reaction from somewhere, General Teddy appears on a monitor replacing the video.
Looks like you're officially getting in on the action. Welcome! Look, everyone, another challenger!
Without warning, there's a loud sound. The door in every direction open at once. Lions pour in. Sending students pour in, cheering and yelling. Before I know it, I'm surrounded by people with no means of escape. General Teddy grins at my situation and raises his stubby arm.
Well then, bring out the
Let's go!
movement!
Spotlight shines on the spot where the crowd parts. Female student can be seen. She has short hair and wears a jacket. She looks very athletic. I recognize her face from the video. Her name was Chie Satonaka. The carnivore's discarded womanhood. Stands in front of me, bounce from foot to foot.
I heard that you're elbowing in on the tournament. Suits me fine. Let's do this!
As she finishes her speech, she takes a fighting stance.
Huh?
Then a gleaming silhouette appears behind her. It is another persona. Jane Sonic sends her hand palm face up and motions with her fingers, taunting me.
Ooh, she's ready and raring to go!
This is strange. Chie-san's willingness to fight is odd enough, but even stranger are the sounds in the crowd. Even when seeing Persona up close, they show no signs of alarm. Come to think of it, how did they get here? I don't believe that they are all Persona users. And if they were, would they be so excited over such brutality? While Sight was stuck in a mysterious world filled with potential dangers, that does not seem likely. Perhaps my basic assumptions are faulty. Could they, like these buildings, be unreal? I cannot jump to conclusions, but I decide to take the offensive. I turn to the monitor. General Teddy is bouncing up and down gleefully.
I will fight on one condition.
Which is?
Interesting. He answered me. I can hold a conversation with him. Which means he can see and hear me.
That you immediately release all these students from this school, or rather from this world. If you do that, I will fight as you wish.
Tut tut! Are you making demands to me? Before you get too worried about other people, why not worry about yourself?
I will not fight unless you guarantee their safety.
I glide General Teddy through the monitor. I didn't want to involve the students, but I had an idea.
Sheesh! What a stubborn girl!
Not too sexy. He snaps his stubby fingers. The room instantly fills with light. I ward myself against it by covering my eyes. A few seconds later, the brightness fades to normal. As my eyes adjust, I see that the students have vanished.
Ta-da! Is that what you wanted?
General smiles proudly. My guess was correct. If students were fake, it's easier for him to remove them than to talk me into fighting. The result, my senses detect the moment when the students disappear all at once. The only human here is Chie-san. Looking around, it seems that not everything disappeared. Human-like figures remain as if the shadows of students were burned into the scenery. There were several about the gymnasium. The rooms are similar to shadows, but they show no signs of hostility. These are the true forms of those students. They have been unmasked.
Honestly, you're in no position to be making demands, you know. I'm making an exception just this once, because it's no fun if you don't both go at it tooth and claw. Even if you don't resist, your opponent will show no mercy. It'll be a grisly sight.
Come on! Even if the crowd was still here, would you not have hit back when I hit you?
No. The safety of the people must be prioritized above all else.
Ha! That's pretty cool of you, actually. But self-sacrifice doesn't mean much coming from a machine. They can just fix you right up. Oh, that's right. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. You probably don't feel pain or anything, huh? It just seemed that way because you look human.
You may not understand, but I can sense pain as well.
Really? That's such a weird thing to program into a weapon. Doesn't make any sense to me.
That's...
As I struggle to answer, Chie-san smiles wide.
Well, that's fine with me. Means I can fight you without pulling any punches.
Her smile disappears and her eyes spark with fire as she launches herself at me. I would rather not fight her, but she's a persona user. I clench my teeth and make myself ready to intercept her.
If I must fight you, then I will.
Let's do it. Chie Satanica.
Finally! Fight!
The opponent persona! Evasive move!
Very jumpy, apparently. I like that my movement in these fighting games just seems to be very jumpy. Well, can't all have a perfect battle.
Oh, sheesh. Wow. You're definitely a pro when it comes to fighting.
I am not human.
I'm sorry. Are you all right?
Yeah. But boy, I didn't stand a chance against you. Hey, what's all this about you being a robot?
She's upset by her loss, but seems cheerful. She didn't show this open-mindedness before the fight. Perhaps as with Kanji-san, I can make peace with her by it. No, it is vain of me to think that it's possible. Her words echo in my mind. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. I hate to admit it, but her observation is correct.
I may seem like a ridiculous machine to you, but I'm still...
Huh? I never said that. Wait. You're not acting like you did before the fight. I'm surprised that you're a robot, but what gives?
Chie-san looks stupefied. Her expression confuses me as well. She stated clearly, yet she doesn't remember? Then something hit me. Didn't things go similarly with Kanji-san as well? Can it be that something was done to the participants? No, I should avoid drawing conclusions based solely on speculation. Besides, there's something I must do first.
That reminds me. I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Aigis.
Looks like we let our fists say too much before we opened our mouths.
I saw the introductory video. You're Chie Satonaka, correct?
Yep. Oh, you can just call me Chie.
And please, not
the
title.
carnivore who's
Yep, there we
discarded
go.
womanhood.
Okay, you didn't need to bring that part up, and I didn't discard anything.
Yep, there we go.
I can use a persona, but I'm just an ordinary high school student. I go to Yasugami High. So anyways, are you, seriously a machine? No fooling?
Depends. Are you a carnivore who's discarded her womanhood? No fooling?
Yes. I was created as a weapon for a certain purpose. It may be difficult to explain to you.
Nah, I can tell from the fight you're telling the truth. Huh. So you're not cosplaying.
She's still confused.
Then again, it'd be pretty nuts for someone to come out here to cosplay.
Speaking of which, Chie-san, can you tell me what this place, this world, is? I confess that I am looking for someone. While pursuing them, I heard the rumor about going inside TVs and ended up here.
Oh, right. You can use a persona. That's how you got into the TV. Where should I start? I don't know exactly how it works, but this place is supposedly a realm formed by human thought.
By thought? Does that mean this is someone's mental landscape?
Basically.
I guess so.
Then we physically entered a mental world? Through a TV, no less?
Cognitive world,
How can
if you
this
will.
be?
To tell the truth, I never understood it so well myself. There was this insane monster thing around town up until early spring. It created this whole world, and I got my persona because of what happened in here.
Chie-san folds her arms with a troubled look on her face.
Come to think of it, all this stuff should have been over and done with. But you see that ad showing on the monitor over there? It suddenly started getting shown on TV in reality. There's no way we were gonna stand for that crap to be shown. So that's why me and my friends came in here to put a stop to it.
Your friends are here as well?
Yeah, a couple. Also, that Teddy guy who's hosting this, plus the girl Rise who's serving as commentator. They're my friends too, but they're acting so weird.
She lets out a sigh.
Sorry, listen to me, babbling away. Do you think you can find this person you're looking for? Actually, could whoever it is get in here? I don't think normal people can enter the TV.
To tell you the truth, I have already encountered one such person, but...
I tell her about the girl I saw. Give her all the details that I can remember. Recall that she called herself the student council president. She did not seem aware that she was inside the TV.
Oh, you mean the girl who was calling herself the student council president? Yeah, I saw her too. She was yelling into a bullhorn to stop this foolishness, but then she ran off saying she was gonna go talk to the tournament's host.
She was wearing the same skirt that you are, Chie-san. It seems to be part of a uniform. Are you acquainted with her?
No, I don't know her. It's funny, that girl said she was elected last week, but if I remember right, our student council president was a guy.
I have many doubts about her. We must meet her again and figure her out.
Thank you. I now have a better understanding of the situation.
I was waiting for that line to just like someone remembers who the actual student council president is, so they have to like sort this out a little more.
Well then, I should be going now. I would like it if you could come along, but...
I know, I can't leave here, right? I'll stay put for now.
I will come back for you later. You may find it hard to trust me, but...
No, I believe you.
Chie-san replies unhesitatingly.
I've been through so much over this past year that I'm pretty confident I can read people. Honestly, though, what other choice do I have? If you run into any of my friends, tell them I'm okay.
I will.
After wiping the dust from her right hand with her sleeve, Chie-san extended to me.
Aigis-san, right? So, if this was some fighting manga, we'd beat the tar out of each other, then shake hands in the end as best friends. A powerful enemy can become a powerful friend, you know?
Well, I guess that makes sense. Also, the intro to the original Persona 4 Arena, which is this story mode, or where this story mode comes from, is actually called Best Friends, so, yeah. I guess that's supposed to be like a callback. Or a nod, at least, because it's not a callback, it's in the same game. I clasp her hand. She smiles in embarrassment.
Friendship can do amazing things. I saw that for myself last year. And you and I can be friends too, so, you don't need to talk like you're just an object.
Chie-san.
Don't look at me like that. You're embarrassing me. Come on, get going. Go! Hurry!
Yes, I'll see you later.
Energized by Chie-san's words, I run towards the entrance. Turn around and wait for Chie-san. There's more at stake than Labrys. I must protect these people. I swear a vow to myself and leave. Still running. As I exit the gymnasium, I remain cautious while running down the hallway. Suddenly, I pick up a response on my transmitter, which has been silent until now. Stop and focus on picking up the signal.
Guess you hear...
So Mitsuru's trying to get to her.
Can you hear me, Aigis?
The staticky transmission soon becomes clear. It's a voice I recognize very well.
Mitsuru-san?
Good. It seems you're all right, too. It's been quite a while since I last used my persona in this manner. To think it would be useful in a place like this.
Is Akihiko-san with you?
No, we were separated, but I can still sense him. I doubt he'll be defeated that easily.
She's speaking not out of carelessness, but trust. I know, because I feel the same.
I'm sure you're aware by now, but although we came in search of Labrys, we appear to have been dragged into another incident. Don't worry about meeting up for now. Under the present conditions, we'd only end up fighting amongst ourselves.
Understood.
I don't know how Labrys ties into this situation yet, but be careful.
Before I can answer, the static goes louder and the transmission ends. Knowing that Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san are okay gives me room to breathe. Can you breathe? Visible walls are everywhere along the hallways, forcing me down a particular path. Follow the route soon enough, I can see the shoe lockers up ahead. Seems I am back at the entrance. When I reach the entrance, the monitor nearby turns on as if it were waiting for me. As usual, it is General Teddy. I take a defensive stance. It appears to be the area for my next battle.
You're pretty good for a latecomer.
Why is there so much static? Since General Teddy appears on TV, my sensors pick up that noise again. Suspicion turns to certainty. General Teddy's doing something before the matches. Okay, so Mitsuru and Aigis were both able to detect it. Whatever it is makes the opponent belligerent or something similar. I can assume that neither Kanji-san nor Chie-san will act like themselves before the battle. That would explain why none of our stories were consistent afterwards.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
I hear light footsteps. Young man wearing his hat low arrives.
Naturally,
Nato.
of the three of you, you're the one I encountered first.
He shrugs his shoulders and pulls the brim lower. Was also in the promotional video. His name was Naoto Shirogane. I bring myself to high alert. He said, 3 of you.
You know about us?
On hearing my question, he smiles cynically.
Did Mitsuru Kirijo not inform you? I don't merely know about you. I was there at the airport. The Kirijo group seems rather lax for a multinational corporation, allowing a machine to act autonomously and take command. To be frank, watching you fills me with pity. Perhaps the kindest thing to do would be to give you a merciful end.
Pity?
Your existence is inherently a deception, isn't it? You're a machine, and a weapon on top of that. Yet you look human. Those who meet you think you're human. You even seem to believe it yourself. Truly pitiful.
I have no answer to this. Unless I don't want to believe it, it's all true.
You were built to consider yourself human in order to activate the ability to wield a persona. Your appearance and your heart are only prerequisites for that power. I'm sure you've realized it already. You will never find the means to cross the gap between the human heart and your mechanical frame. No matter how much you want love, you'll never earn it. At best, people grow fond of you.
Sounds as if he knows for certain. I hang my head in spite of myself.
The more I consider the matter, the more I genuinely pity you. I'd best hurry up and put an end to your pathetic life.
Nato-san draws his gun. If my eyes are lowered, I am slow to react. I already knew that we had to fight, and yet I curse my carelessness and quickly stand back up. Let's do it. $2,000 IQ Killjoy Detective.
Final. Fight!
Here! Persona! Damage! Light damage! Persona! Strike! Persona! Now it's possible! Turn the tide! Fire! I failed.
Here I go.
Severe impact damage.
Aim. Okay.
Final sequence.
There we go.
Palladian numbers set. Maximum
At
charge.
least I made this much easier to do in cross tag battle.
I'm sorry.
Sir Aigis, you have to perform the command in the air. It's really annoying to do. And it really throws you off track. At least in Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, they made it so you can do all instant kills on the ground. Nato-san slowly gets up. There's some staggering that seems to be caused by dizziness. Watch carefully for any changes in behavior. I'm surprised by what I hear next.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? The mastermind behind this tournament may have some means of fogging our senses. Were you suspecting that as well?
Yes.
Seeing me nod, Nato-san smiles.
Then we are in agreement. Its aim appears to be to make friends fight one another. Though it's a mystery to me as to why it would do such a thing.
Nato-san brushes some dust off and walks toward me.
But the battle is over and the interference has been lifted. Given past examples, the pattern is clear. How about it? Why don't we talk things over?
I have no objections. Nato-san seems to understand everything. And on my head, relieved.
I am Naoto Shirogane. I work as a detective. I agreed to act as an observer for the police regarding the special cargo, met with Kirijo-san beforehand, and accompanied her to the airport.
So that's how you knew about us. I recall seeing you in the introductory video, along with the other competitors.
They're good friends of mine. I attend Yasogami High, the same school as them.
I see. So after you finished your business and returned to your hometown, that video appeared on TV. Is that correct?
That's right. At least that's what I should say if I wanted to feign innocence.
What?
The real reason I came here is because I was tailing you. It was for a secret investigation.
For who?
Naturally, I cannot reveal my client or what their aims are, but I'm sure you have your own secrets to keep. What do you think? As long as we're in the same boat, why not cooperate?
I become tense at the mention of a secret investigation. That's not important now.
I see. It would not be wise to continue to stand in each other's way in this situation.
I accept Nato-san's hand and we shake.
How much do you know about this world?
Your friend told me it's a realm formed by human thought. In which case, why a school?
This place varies according to people's mental state. When someone enters it directly, they have a much stronger effect on it. For a normal person with no persona-based resistances, a dangerous situation will arise where their shadow goes berserk. That happened frequently in the case I was involved with last year. This false school may have something to do with it.
I consider Labrys. According to her specifications, she should be able to use a persona, but did this come from her mind? Why a school? Why Yasogami High School of all places? She has no prior knowledge of the place. She had never even visited Inaba. So if that girl's Labrys, she undoubtedly has a heart. It's possible that something like what Naoto-san suggested could happen.
I assume you have a theory already?
Yes. Thank you very much. I believe I'm slowly starting to understand what's going on.
I look down the path ahead. Before I go, I turn and ask Naoto-san a question.
Would you mind telling me something? Why did you tell me about your secret agenda?
I suppose because it wouldn't be fair otherwise.
A wry smile spreads over Naoto-san's face.
Given that I cannot leave here and must trust my friend's fate to you, it would be unfair to continue deceiving you. But not only that, you carry out your duties with little care for your true appearance. You and I are not on equal grounds there.
My true appearance?
Consider it a sign of my respect for that. I still seem to have a soft spot.
Naoto-san's smile fades. She looks at me solemnly.
Aigis-san, I ask only one thing of you. Please save my friends.
That is my intention.
Thank you. I'll wait here, secure in knowing that.
We nod to each other. Chie-san, Kanji-san, and Naoto-san are also different. They're connected by a strong bond. Only that fills my heart with warmth.
I am curious, though. When you refer to your true appearance, do you mean the fact that you are a woman?
What?
Am I mistaken?
Oh, well...
Your clothing hides it, but my sensor scan shows the body measurements of a human with female proportions.
What do you mean? How much can you see?
Suddenly, Naoto-san loses all composure and turns red, covering her chest with her arms. What happened? I don't think I said anything to warrant such a reaction. Instead, General Teddy interrupts over the monitor.
Hey, enough with the chit-chat! Hurry up and move on to the next!
Would you like to know your current measurements? From top to bottom, they are...
Oh, that's quite all right.
What the hell?
Never mind, little old me. Please, finish that line of thought. I demand it!
No.
How did we get so off subject? If you're going to go, please hurry and leave.
Yeah, because like Naoto's measurements, anytime her measurements were about to be revealed, she'd always grab her like the document she got when she got her checkup and just disappear off with it, implying that she destroyed it. She yelled at me. I must have said something rude. You were about to reveal her measurements she tried to keep secret. Like, yeah, I know, like, Naoto is a bit busty, but, like, the fact that she's able to hide that under such clothes. I'm getting off subject right now, and I'm so sorry. That still happens every so often. An innocuous remark can greatly upset someone. I must keep practicing. To speak properly, and not to get so in private detail. A common stairway notes a silhouette in one of the classrooms. Looking carefully, it could be that student council president, Labrys. I will be relieved if I had caught up to her so soon, but the hand I raised to knock on the door inadvertently stops. Wait, could she be my next opponent? She wasn't in the promotional video, but neither was I, yet I am being forced to fight in the Grand Prix. There's no point in worrying about that now. I can't change the path I take nor the opponent I must face. I prepare myself and knock lightly on the door.
You're that girl from before.
A girl turns and notices me. Except for in the classroom, there is no immediate interruption from General Teddy. It looks like he has not scheduled a match between us. I breathe a sigh of relief.
What are you doing here?
Ain't it obvious? I'm cleaning up the classroom. It's no picnic, what with people running wild and wrecking things.
She takes down the chairs piled on top of each other and lines them up. If you run, she takes a breath. Though she's complaining, there is a gentle smile on her face.
But I guess this is all in a day's work for a student council president. We'll look back on it and laugh, right?
You seem like you're having fun.
That's because I love my school. Even the chores are fun for me. The reason I wanted to be president is because of that. Oh, it can be rough when things get out of hand like this.
But it's dangerous here. You must leave at once. Won't you come with me?
She seemed confused by my words and tilts her head to one side.
What? You're worried about me? Hey, I'm the president. And you might not think so to look at me, but I ain't no slouch in a fight. I'll be fine.
No, that's not what I mean.
How should I put this? She still has no idea of the danger. She walks up next to me, takes a long look at my face, and giggles.
Your clothes are pretty out there, but I can see you mean well. Thanks. Some of these students won't listen to a word I say, but I feel like I gotta be here. No, I wanna be here.
Even if it puts you in danger?
You're really a drama queen, aren't you? Who's to say I'm in danger for sure? Besides,
her eyes burn with affection for something dear to her.
Even if you're right, I'd want to stay here.
There's no need to test her commitment. It is consistent with the fact of this world being created. Then, is she human?
I always wanted to go to school with everyone, just like normal. That's all.
Does that imply you couldn't do so before?
You're asking me that now, honestly? Back then,
She stops abruptly. I wait patiently for her to continue, but her face twists with suffering.
Huh?
She puts her finger to her temple, her knees begin to buckle.
What's wrong?
Weird. The past. How come it's...
She can't remember it. She begins to fall and I catch her. At that precise moment. There's a strong reading from my fingers as soon as I touched her. So strong, like touching a hot stove. It's the same reading as when I first stuck my hands to the TV. It's coming from a personality module, a piece of lost technology that researchers had called plumes of dust due to their shape. I have one inside me as well. It's not merely strong evidence, it is conclusive. There are still questions to be answered, but this girl can be none other than Labrys. At the very least, she is not human.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm not feeling so good all of a sudden.
The memory she's trying to access is causing conflicts with her current level of awareness. If she tries to remember, she will not be able to maintain her mental state. Memory is that charged. I held her close and wait for her to calm down. Her reaction does not improve, it gets worse. She shakes violently as if electrified. Suddenly, bright lights burst in front of my eyes.
What?
Something flowing into me? I fully let go of Labrys, but it does not fade away easily. Images I don't recognize pulled together in my head, one after another, at incredible speeds.
Are these...
Oh, her...
Labrys' memories?
Oh, I saw the forest and thought it was Aigis' own memories. Since when the main character, Junpei and Akihiko, first ran into her on that one dock at the beach. I think it was at Yakushima. At that one beach, she ran into a forest. Turn of data finally subsides. Analyze the data to find out what happened, then I understand. It did not flow into me. The data was already dormant inside of me. I am the last member of the Anti-Shadow Weapon Project. I inherited all the data from the previous models of the same type, both tangible and intangible. Labrys' memories were part of it. Normally, the developers would not upload data into me that was unrelated to battle, with the plume of dust as a black box. It's possible that something was transferred somehow through that. Probably why you saw the shadow. Thinking about it, that might have been the reason I thought I saw Labrys at the airport. My glimpse of the newly awakened Labrys caused my buried records of her appearance to be called. Perhaps that's what happened. Fortunately, the memories I have just are in complete disarray. I can't just flip through it like an album. Video records were not in chronological order, meaning I can't make sense of them in their current state. However, there was one memory that left an impression on me. The sea. Cerulean sky and lingering clouds, the emerald blue water. All the other memories are of cold mechanical rooms with a night sky, but this one is different.
What was that just now?
Labrys staggers as she stands up. Before I can ask her anything, she abruptly shakes me off and runs out of the classroom.
Wait!
Try to chase after her. With only a few steps, I trip over my own feet. Information level prevented me from making any sudden movements. I fight through it, dragging what feels like several times the weight of my legs when...
Are you sure you want to take that girl out of here?
Ooh, shadow. Stumble to a stop and look around searching for the hidden speaker.
This is the only place she can fit in. No one will understand her once she steps outside, but she can't become human either. So she has no other choice but to wallow in this illusory school. Pitiable, isn't she? But this is the only way she can be happy. Are you going to take that from her?
I stop, suddenly realizing the answer to my question and catch my breath in my throat. This voice, it's mine?
What will you do after you take her from
Shadow
here?
Labrys.
Lock her up in a box
Aigis.
again? How
Shadow
cruel.
Aigis.
No wonder she ran away.
Aigis.
Ran away? What are you... You don't mean... You finally figured it out? Labrys wasn't brought here by some sinister mastermind.
Yeah, she ran away.
escaped on her own and came here. That can't be. The suspects in the hijacking case, I'm sure you've seen the opponents you fought so far robbed of their sanity. Have you forgotten already? You're saying that was Labrys' doing too? Yes.
She wants to be free.
Her heart gave birth to this world, and that power is one of her abilities. From some special equipment. With a power like that, wouldn't it be simple to control a number of ordinary people?
It's true that the hijackers were confused and that there were signs of some mental interference.
It does seem strange to go to so much trouble to come to a place like this. If she did in fact do this, then she must face herself. What gives you the right to say that?
Suddenly the tone of her voice changes. She speaks very gently, like a parent correcting a child.
You've experienced suffering before too. It pains you to have a heart.
The
knowing
final
that
boss
you can
music.
never be human. Even if there was someone you considered to be worth fighting for, you can't be a real companion to them. That's why you chose to protect them as a weapon. But in the end, you still lost them. What do you know about me? Mere words will not cause me to abandon hope. A brave bluff. But a tool like yourself can never be a true partner for a human. Doesn't your heart yearn to be by their side and to be loved? It hurts so much that I wish I could go back to how I was before I gained a heart. Has that really never once crossed your mind? I think not. That pain will never completely disappear. It will always fester inside you. Isn't that right? Even if you take Labrys away, the same will happen to her. She'll become just like you. Is that a fate you want for her? You see, here you can have anything, as long as you look away from the truth. That doesn't just go for Labrys, but for you too. Even the things you have lost forever. Here, you can have them back. What are you?
Cut myself off, realizing that I am becoming too fascinated with the voice. This isn't good. I cannot let the voice deceive me. I must get a speaker in my sights first. Carefully attune myself to the source of the voice and quickly turn in that direction. But the person standing there is me. Or rather, something that looks like me. At first, I think that the overlord is still affecting my senses, but that is not the case.
I'll take away your suffering. Now, take my hand, Aigis.
I smile and extend out my hand. I feel dazed. It's very confusing. I don't know what to do. My mind advises caution, but my heart doesn't listen. But all of a sudden, the door opens in the corner.
Pardon my interruption
Elizabeth.
of this seemingly trivial conversation.
The woman in blue. The unexpected event brings me back to reality, and I realize that I was nearly seduced by its promises. On a second look, I can see a woman beyond the door frame. That distinctive blue dress. I recognize the attire of an elevator girl. Her name was Elizabeth Sign, I believe. Yeah, because Aigis knows her because Persona 3 FES. But why is she here? Elizabeth walks right in and stands at the center of the room. There's nothing outwardly abnormal about her pose, but it is as imposing as a battle stance. She opens her thick, leather-bound book and smiles dauntlessly at the other me.
Excuse me, but I would like a word with this lady over here. Would you mind leaving?
Who are you?
If you don't leave the two of us, I must resort to giving you a hearty thrashing with my book. It's a hardcover, leather-bound edition, and is quite powerful. Enough to do over 4 digits on average, I'd say.
Without warning, the pages from the open book overflow with light.
I don't believe this.
The other me's face flinches in pain, and she vanishes into thin air while spitting a curse. Is she gone now? I can no longer pick up any readings on her. Tension leaves my body and I collapse to the ground. While I am there, Elizabeth walks towards me. I first met her 2 years ago. Her attire is somewhat strange, but the place I met her was even stranger. A blue room. That's the only way to describe that mystical space. The residents call it the Velvet Room. I've not believed it is all part of the real world. There, Elizabeth was one who governs power. She helped me to grow spiritually by introducing me to the power of personas. Never mind that she would leave the room, let alone that I would run into her here. Yet her appearance here saved me.
I'm sorry for that. Thank you for saving me.
I think Elizabeth wanted to kick your ass.
Did I save you?
She stares straight at me, then lets out a long sigh of disappointment.
I was on a journey for personal reasons. But I sensed some extraordinary powers clashing against each other and came to see what all the fuss was about, only to be met with this bitter disappointment.
Damn! I am baffled by her candidness.
Please stand. Have you already forgotten the enlightenment you gained before me once? Has it escaped your prodigious goldfish-like memory? It seems that I must once again ascertain what you are truly capable of.
She speaks as if she's engaging in everyday conversation and opens her leather-bound book again. Suddenly a murderous aura fills the air, fierce as a gust of wind. Something about me has disappointed her. I know that much. I clearly have no time to ask her what it is.
Here goes. The cards will decide your fate.
Alright. Clearly no room for negotiation, since all Elizabeth knows is kill, kill, kill. Why they call her the lethal elevator attendant.
Finally!
Definitely the least mature for siblings.
No!
One damage.
Or one of the most painful.
Impressive.
Fire!
What?
Fire!
What? Impressive.
Down.
Opening my door.
I see. Remark, it was a good try. Oopsie!
Impressive.
Attack goes down!
Oh no. What? Oh no.
Attack!
From this moment,
Your fate is in the cup.
oh no.
Here!
What?
disappointed for that.
Severe impact. Damage. Change things out. Severe impact. Damage. Change things. Your fate is in the car.
Damn it!
Opening my door.
I think she's absurd. I was about to use my finisher in her as well. I wasn't ready for it.
Please do watch.
Oh, wait. Checkpoint? Is it like a checkpoint because that's the amount of damage it did? Or is it because I lost her?
From this I will shock. Like damage. Remarkable. Here, your first severe impact. Your fate is in change things. Please look above. No! Let's change things out. Severe impact.
Leave me alone!
Severe motor system error. Final sequence.
Yes!
Palladian numbers.
Got it with the last one.
Maximum charge. Fire!
Get out of here!
So this is your proof of growth. I'm overheated.
My gosh.
Well done.
At least I know I saw her coming towards me. Elizabeth stands from her kneeling position. Though she lost, she did not so much as break a sweat. While I, for my part, am detecting strain from my entire drive system. I can see myself, lacking the energy to even speak, reflected in Elizabeth's clear eyes.
You are indeed neither man nor any ordinary machine. You are truly singular. But then can anyone be said to be the same as anybody else? People anguish over the gulf between themselves and others, and the lack of any who could possibly understand. How is their situation different from yours? What defines life is not death, but bonds. That is the answer you once reached. Then take that to heart and go forth. Remember that your bonds will remain unbroken, giving you the strength to withstand any suffering.
My bonds.
I, too, am currently on an endless journey, but I anticipate that you will become a compatriot of mine, unbound by the limitations of time. I hope that you will not be led astray by trivial things. With that, I bid you good luck.
Okay. Elizabeth bows and finally shows me her smile. Immediately after, she turns on one heel and walks towards the Immediately after, she turns on one heel and walks towards the hallway. I suddenly remember.
There are rules to this tournament delineating behavior after a match.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
Fuck yeah.
I shall be on my way.
True to her word, she leaves the room with no trouble and closes the door with an exaggerated slam. Those walls are nothing to her. Come to think of it, Labrys didn't seem subject to those rules either. Do they only apply to participants in the tournament? No, in Elizabeth's case, it simply doesn't matter to her.
She remains a complete enigma.
No kidding, as they all do. I find it amusing, which allows me to feel more relaxed.
It may be true that this world can grant one's true desire, but I want Labrys to see past herself to a world where other people matter, even if one discards their bonds to avoid pain. All that awaits is a numb, desert-like future with no promise. I thought as she did once, so I'm sure I can understand her.
I, too, felt the same as Labrys when I went through an incredibly trying ordeal. If there's no one to reach out to her, she'll become even more trapped. As she is now, Labrys cannot escape on her own. That's because the key to extricating oneself is the realization that one is not alone.
I want to form a bond with Labrys, with my sister. I want to teach her things that she cannot learn if she is alone.
Saying out loud helps to strengthen my resolve. Change my approach and focus on searching for a way to save her. Still, that one thing, the thing looked like me. Was that what Naoto-san meant by shadow going berserk? My own shadow. Thinking of that way shed some light on things. Of course, I can control my persona and have resistance to the effects of this world, but the heart cannot be so easily stabilized. The same thing happened to Labrys. Suddenly realized the dangers involved. Patiently suppress these thoughts and dash out to the hallway. Oh, still going, huh? I follow the path formed by the invisible walls. I check on the stairway to the third floor. There seem to be no walls here, allowing me to go as I please. Until the end is near, and so I prepare myself. Soon I stand in front of a room that has a sign outside saying, "Announcement Room." The door is half open. I can sense someone inside. Cautiously press up against the door and peek around it. This is an announcement room, as the sign indicated, but the space inside is much larger than the classrooms I've seen. The equipment here is also closer to that of a TV studio than what would be found in the school. On top of that, the back wall is made of glass, showing a view that is clearly not a schoolyard. Taken together, is the first distinct sign this is not the real world. As I expected, Labrys is here, standing in the middle of the room. There's also another boy and girl as well. The girl is holding Labrys' shoulder, and the boy stands in front of the pair, protecting them. Across from them is General Teddy. It seems that it's the end of the line. Yosuke. I've seen that boy's face in the video. Yosuke Hanamura-san, I believe. I'm not familiar with the girl's face, but I do recognize her distinctive voice. The same voice that has been commentating on the fights along with General Teddy on the school PA. The tone of the commenting, I thought she was working with the general, but right now it seems to be on Yosuke-san and Labrys' side. I recall what Chie-san said. Chie said that she, Rise-san, was originally their friend, in which case she may actually be another victim. General Teddy gives a cruel smile, squints his eyes, and speaks.
What a shame.
Yep, Shadow Labrys.
But there's no way anyone would understand you. Huh?
General Teddy's voice and tone have undergone a remarkable change. Listening closely, the voice is... so it finally reveals its true form.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel. Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault. That's not true. You still refuse to remember? Look at me. And stop deluding yourself.
Here we go. Transformation. Labrys. Shadow in its true form. A roaring beast. The beast of carnage. Raging beast of destruction.
The true self.
No way. That's... She has my face.
But the face is the only thing that's the same. The rest of her body is covered in metal. There is no doubt that it's man-made. Labrys has had a short scream and backs up.
Stop! I'm not like that!
Calm down. It's just taking that form to agitate you.
Yosuke is frantically trying to calm Labrys down. It's just taking that form to agitate you. That's what he says, but is that really the case? I have my own suspicions.
No! No!
Taking that form, huh? Well, you have a point. I do have the power to confuse people's senses. Warp what they're seeing. Twist what they're hearing.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other.
Of the things you're seeing right now, which do you think is real and which is fake?
The former General Teddy. No, Labrys' shadow breaks out into a grin. Labrys, meanwhile, is cringing in fear as she holds onto Yosuke's sleeve.
No. I'm not like you. I'm human, aren't I?
Huh? What do you mean?
Like I said, Yosuke does not know how to answer the sudden question.
And how did I come to have these special powers? Why, it's because I have them.
With that, the shadow snaps its fingers. And yep. At once, static like that on a poorly tuned TV starts appearing around Labrys and slowly envelops her. I enhance my vision. Nothing is happening to Labrys' body. It was my own vision that was clouded, or had been until now. Soon after the noise dissipates, an inhuman-looking girl is standing in her place.
Huh? A robot?
There. Metallic arms and legs extend from her uniform. Thrusters on her back spread like wings. It's just as I thought. Her body's identical to that of a shadow in front of her.
Look, that's what she really looks like. It's her who's been deceiving you all from the start. Not only you, but herself too. She really thinks that she's a human living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe as real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that. She even sealed away her own name. No!
Labrys.
Stop! Why are you doing this? Kindly hurry up and remember me. Remember yourself. It's pretty rude of you to even forget your own name. No! I don't want to remember! Huh. Is that so? Looks like you still need an extra push.
The shadow grins evilly and swings the enormous axe at Labrys. Or actually at Yosuke-san!
Yosuke-senpai!
For the axe to complete its arc, I am already in action. I must intervene. Neither Labrys in shock at seeing her true form, nor Yosuke-san or Rise-san are prepared for the attack.
What the?
I deflect the strike with the metallic part of my arm. It was heavier than I anticipated. The battle axe is a giant lump of metal that blocks most of my vision.
A girl? Wait, you're a robot too?
I turn my head to Labrys and look straight into her shocked eyes.
You must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be.
I tell her her name in a clear voice. Official name, which includes something no human has, a model number.
Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys.
Labrys quivers violently as if an invisible arrow pierced her chest. So that we shall see.